you will be understanding. And also I have a couple of interview questions followed with that with respect to that Angular. I mean, which cover like programmatic as well, JavaScript also, which are going to be used around 30, but few more I'll add to that, more 20 questions that I'll add by today or tomorrow. Today, tomorrow, it's not possible practically. Maybe Wednesday or Thursday, I'll try to add and I'll upload the document as well to you. Now based on the priority, the pending concept are going to be, as I told you, 4. One is going to be the material UI. Second one is the unit testing, how to do that. Third one is the component lifecycle hook. And fourth one is, as you asked, RxJS operator. And NGRX, there is one concept is there. I'll just give an overview of it. Because NGRX, Angular material, these two, we can discuss up to a month also. That much subject is there again with respect to that. And the same thing, the 20% of the occupation is there, or 20% of that application that are used these two concept. 20% only out of 100% of the Angular application development, only 20% are using what? Angular material UI and NGRX. And remaining 3, RxJS operator, or else maybe material UI, okay, and RX life cycle. So these are somehow important only. So that is where first I'll start with material UI, and then we will be discuss the remaining. Give me a minute. Shiva, చెప్పండి Shiva. చేయండి ఇంటి దగ్గరికి వెళ్తే ఇస్తారు, కాగితం ఇస్తారు, తీసుకున్నాను. ఈవినింగ్ ఇస్తారు, రేపు ఇస్తారు, రేపు మార్నింగ్. ఓకే సరే ఇవ్వండి. Right. So we will start with the next one, that is what? Material UI. And to do that one, let me open my command prompt. I'll be using the same Angular project only. There only I'll be creating the project. Let us go with the cmd.exe. And after that, I'll go with the code space dot. And so far, we covered the nodes until the HTTP client class and fetch and HTTP client differences. But after that, a couple of things that I haven't added to this one, but I have the whole notes with me where I can share it with you. You don't need to worry about it. I have the whole Angular notes which is available. So there I'll be providing you each and everything. Whatever it is required, you will be finding each and everything over here. I'll share these notes with you because why should I see NGRX also something? As I guess 2 to 3 batches before, one guy was asked about that, what exactly NGRX. I just gave what is the purpose of it, nothing apart from that. Because as I told you, it requires lot of some experience is required to understand about those concepts. As a fresher, it is very challenging task to understand and to do the practice. That is the reason. Now coming to the today's lecture, we will be understanding about Angular material UI. So what is the purpose of that Angular material UI and what exactly it is? It is a component library, that what I can say. That means it contains collection of components and those also collection of predefined components. It is collection of predefined component which we can customize, okay, and implement in our projects, that what I can say. So Angular material UI is nothing but it's a predefined, okay, it's a predefined collection of components. Together we call it as Angular material UI. Generally, whenever if you are creating a text box, how do we create the text box? font. Okay, whenever if you people have created, let's say, or else like whenever if you people are going to use, okay, whenever if your people are using to create an input type, generally we use that input type equal to text, and then we followed with some value and we use that ng model or something like that, right? And that will give you like, the normal way. But if you can add like, the class that is going to be the farm control, which is a bootstrap class, then the look and feel would be differently changed or not. Same way, the way how we are having the bootstrap is basically the third party library. That is the the Twitter is the company, they maintain that library to just to you provide, to just to provide you a good and rich user interface. Why should I depend on some third party library, as we can do our own UI and we can do our own customization? For that reason only we have the material UI. The one limitation practically is material UI can understand only by the Angular developer, not by the UI developer. But if you can take the bootstrap can be implemented by the UI developer, can be written by the Angular developer, can be implemented by the .NET people, can be implemented by the Java people. So that is the more flexible user interface, that what I can say, which can be used by many people. But coming to that Angular material UI, the person like who are having an expertise skill set on Angular application development, they are only the responsible to do any kind of customization. Otherwise, no other people cannot able to adapt that particular one. That is one of the practical reason where I can say 80% of our right now applications are using bootstrap, and only 20% of that applications they are using what? Material UI. Now, what is material UI? It is a component library which contains the predefined component. Understand? Which contains predefined predefined components, that what I can say. And the next one is going to be, what is the advantage is it saves the development time and improves the performance. It saves the development time and improves the performance. And generally it consists of two things. The first one is going to be, I can say, Angular CDK, where CDK stands for Component Development Kit, I can say. And the second one is going to be, we have components are available. Now, when it comes to a component, I hope you know that it already. A component is a template, with design, logic, I can say. A component with a template which contains a design, logic, and styles, that what I can say. Am I right? Tell me. Yes or no? What is mean by a component? What it contains? A component is going to be a user interface which contains the business logic and following with the styles, right? Component is having the the CSS file or not. Component is having the HTML file, and the same way the component is having the business logic in the file, that is the .ts. So all together what we call it as a component, we call it as. And at the same time, CDK is a component development kit, which provides performance and behavior for the components. Okay, which provide the more performance if you can use that particular one. Now, what I just want to do, I'll be going here. Let us create a new application, ng new, and the name of that application is going to be, let's say, Angular material. I'll be using, and say next what it is. I'm sorry. ng I'm in the workspace. So that way to create it, we have to follow this one. NGG application, Angular material. Do you want to include the routing or not? You can say yes, and then CSS is required. I'll be adding it. It might take a minute, not more than that. Okay, it get installed. Now, once if it is ready, I'll go to here, and then let's see here. We have the projects are available. Under that, we have an Angular material. MA spelling, but it's okay. Angular material is the project, and there I have the styles.css, and where I can provide the styles over here, import URL, where I can go with the node module. And then we have what Bootstrap is available, dist CSS, and I'll be using bootstrap.css. Srigan, why you are including the Bootstrap? Just to show you the difference between the Bootstrap and at the same time Material UI. Just for that reason only, I'm going to include this one. Otherwise, it is not required to have the Bootstrap for an Angular Material UI. Just to to show you the differences, nothing apart from that one. And at the same time, I'll go to here. Under that, we have the node modules folder, and there we are having what Bootstrap icons are available. Fonts Bootstrap icons dot CSS, that what I can give, and then close the things over here. Now, what I just want to do is here right now, where Angular project means what? This is a workspace. And if I go to the Angular material, that is what the project. Application is different, workspace is different. Okay. So to work with Angular material UI, okay. So to work with Angular material UI, we should follow few steps I can say. So the step number one is going to be, what is the step number one? Open the command terminal from the workspace folder, that what I can say. So that means where I have to open it, we have to open that from the workspace terminal. I'll be using it. Let's clear the screen. Now you can see I'm having what? Angular Night. Okay. Now this is the workspace that what we are having. Now from this particular workspace, what I can do, I'll be running a command. The command is going to be, let's say, this is the step number one. And after that, the command is going to be ng add @angular / I'll be using material, and this is the one. Automatically it will get the latest one. Suppose, let's say, if you are specific to any version, then you can give 14 or 15 or whatever it might be. That means this one will be install the latest one, and this is a install version specific, I can say. That is only the difference. And one more important thing you should remember, suppose your Angular application is going to be Angular 12 or 13, and the latest version of a material UI is going to be Angular 16. If you can follow like in that way, then you will be getting the version conflict issues. So that is where always you should be taken care of what? Your Angular version, Angular CLI, that what you people have installed, that should be upper version when compared with the material UI. Material UI is having downgrade support. You can install, let's say, 8th version in 14 version of Angular, 7th version in 14 version of that Angular. But if you can install 16 version in 14 version of that Angular CLI, then that causes the version conflict issue. So you should be very careful about it. So that is how it is. Now what I'm trying to do here is, let me come back to here, and I'm just writing here ng, and what is the command? Add, I'll be using @angular / material, that what I can give and click on OK. Why I'm going with this one means found like, see this, found the compatibility package version, that is Angular material 16.1.5 will be installed and executed. Do you want to proceed? It will show you like, the compatible version when you give ng add @Angular material. I just wanted to proceed with Y and then it will get installed. Now you can see at the time of installing, I guess it is asking a question, what kind of theme you going to use? I used it long back, not now. But again, it's very rare conditions we will be using the material, these library. Okay, fine. Now you can see it provide you like, the pre-inbuilt themes are available. Indigo, heart, hyphen pink, deep purple, amber, pink, blue, gray, purple, green, and any customized one if you wanted to give, you can. I never used anything apart from that indigo hyphen pink, indigo / pink. I'll be going it over there. And the next one is going to be set up the global Angular material typography styles. It means across that application, do you want to use the font which is generated by the material UI or not? Generally, any application you can take which is there in like, the same font family. If you can open, let's say Facebook, or else you can open the Google, or else any some XYZ website, the font family is going to be the same. When I say about the font family, it is something like Times New Roman, Vardhana. Okay, like that we have some list of fonts are available, right? So those font family, do you want to maintain at global level means across that application in all the component, wherever I wanted to include, that is what you can specify. I'll be including yes. And the next one, do you want to enable that animation? Frankly speaking, I never seen like, any kind of animations with respect to this one, because like most of the animations are going to be, okay, fine. It is asking me, okay, package installed successfully, that what we are having. Now the project name is going to be required. Package installed successfully and the package name is going to be required. Okay, fine. Generally, they installed it. Okay, let me open it. Let me go to here. Control F, material. Okay, material is available here. So seems like, they provided directly in the project as they said. Let us try, because like in 16 version, they asked me like, to include the project name. Let's try with that one as well. If possible, we'll be installing. Now, what is the project name? What is the name of the project we created? Angular. Okay. I cannot change it right away. Just let it be. Let's go to here. Okay. Right. Skipping the installation, and they're asking us like, to go with like which package, because like it was already installed. Very good. Earlier, like, what we have to do is we install that in like the way how we install the bootstrap. How to install the bootstrap? From that npm install the bootstrap, and after that manually we have to import that in the styles.css by using @import URL, right? Just know what I have done. Generally, like, that is that approach. Same way material also, earlier what we have to do is we will be installing it in the node module, and then we have to include all these files. We have to do the modification by our own, but maybe like, in the latest version, the good thing is like, it is asking me to include the project name. That is where I tried from the project. So all these steps are going to be automatically performed. You need not to do any kind of manual intervention. Directly it is going to be happen. What happened here? First thing is going to be in module.ts. You can see it is included what module? Browser animation module is going to be added. That is the first change. Second one is going to be where it is. Second one is going to be in angular.json. If you can open, what change it is going to be? What change has added? Under that assets folder, favorite icon is added, and also it is given over there. Okay, there we have the styles.css is available. You can see here under the project, we have the components demo, not that one. What changes happen from the previous one and the current one? Development component demo. What changes are happen? Just need to verify. Give me a minute. I'll verify it. This is directives demo. What project we have? It is data binding is the project. And then components demo is the project. Flipkart app is one project. Event binding is the project. After that component communication, I guess this is at the end, maybe it is added, right? See this configuration is added, maybe, I guess. Angular material and some configuration, and you can see what would be that index file, what is the main file, and at the same time, you can see here, we have that assets folder is available. Configure in angular.json is not required. I'm not doing anything, right? It is like, the default behavior. As like what they have done is they added the styles generally. I used a theme that is indigo pink, right? With respect to that, we have a couple of CSS styles are available. Those styles are available here. Earlier, these styles, like, we will be getting, right? Every project is having one file only. Angular.json is not project specific. It is application or workspace specific. So here, like, they added the styles. All these are like, the configuration which you will be getting, like, whenever you're doing it, you need not to do anything with respect to that particular one. And not only that, I'll be closing like, the angular.json. Definitely the startup index.html is also getting changed. If you can go to the Angular material and src index.html, you can see earlier we don't have these two fonts given over there, right? You can see that there are two fonts that are available here, family equal to material icon, and we have the fonts are available or not. This is also added automatically. In previous version, we have to do everything manual, so that we have to remember, but maybe the latest version, we need not to do anything. So simply what I can do, maybe I can say a simple interview question. This is, what are the changes identified in a project when Angular material added. Now, what are the changes? The first one is going to be animation module. Module is added in which file? App.module.ts is the file. That is the first one. Second one is going to be angular.json file. Okay, configured with CSS theme. That means I use the theme that is Indigo Pink, so that theme is going to be added. And the third one is going to be index.html. Links are added with respect to typography. Typography is something like the fonts and everything. And at the same time, I guess there would be a fourth change is also available. The fourth change is going to be, if you can go to the styles.css, now you can see by default few global styles are added or not. Am I added this manually? No. So that means the fourth change that I can observe here is going to be styles.css is also modified with few global styles. That's it. So I guess these are only the changes that what we have done earlier manually, but now it is not required. If you can specify the project name, automatically these configurations are set up. You need not to do anything. Now what I just want to do is I'll go to my application here. Anyhow, we have an app folder. Under that, we have an app component is available. TS is available and HTML. Both are available here. So how to work with this particular one? As I told you, Angular Material UI is a collection of components together. Now I'll be opening the official website, that is material.angular.io. It comes with two important things. One is the component, another one is CDK. Component is nothing but which will contains predefined HTML and TS and everything, TS and the style, and CDK is the development kit. Now, first in today's session, we will be understanding how we can use the component. Suppose, let's say, what I just want to do, I'll be going with some input element, so that I'll be taking an input over here. Now you can see mat input is a directive that allows the native input element and a text area element to work with mat form field that we are having. This is how the design is going to be. Generally speaking, this is how the design is going to be. Now, how to implement it generally in real time, how people are able to remember, how developers are able to remember is we do have an API for that one. What an API it is? Import. What module we have to import? What module we have to import? Mat input module has to be imported. From where it is available? @material/input, and you can find a couple of examples also over here. Okay, with respect to that, we have an example. Otherwise, remembering all these, it's not an easy task. That is where I told you to learn like each and everything which is there in Angular Material UI. It definitely take a month, minimum month. If you really practice well, minimum 1 month time it will take. That is where I'll just give you how we are following it in practical. Practically, like what we are doing, you know, the time when I click on over here, then you will be getting like, you know, this one, you see mat form field is available. And if you can go to the TypeScript, now you see what things are going to be included: mat form module, mat input module. Okay, related to that, like you can find different import sections are available. And then with respect to the CSS, you can find something, some styles are available. Okay, and TS also you can see what needs to be declared in the component and what needs to be declared under the import section. Now here you can see we have standalone is going to be, okay, standalone is going to be true, they have given. Once if the standalone is going to be true, then that is an individual component. Generally, those components are not good practice and those are introduced in Angular 15 only. Earlier, like, you know, we don't have it. 1 second, please. Sami, చెప్పండి. 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 పంపించేయండి. నేను అంటే ఆఫీస్కి వెళ్తాను, కారు మా వైఫ్ అని మీరు కాల్ చేయండి, నేను కింద కారు పంపిస్తాను. ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ. Right. Now standalone components are like, right now still people are not adapting it, but nothing is there. Just if you can create it as a standalone, you can use it in anywhere, irrespective of the module. Generally, whenever if you wanted to use like, a component, we will be having it in one module, and that component is accessible only to that particular module, right? Yes or no? If we can register the same component in another module, are we getting an error, right? Did you remember? I have shown you by creating two modules, and two modules are registered the same component, then we have an error. Then what we are doing, we will be using that module in another module in order to get. But I don't want to do something like that. I just wanted to create a standalone component, then you can give true, so that you need not to register in anywhere, and that component is not related to a particular module. That is what? Just a property. What property it is? Standalone equal to true. And if you people are not giving that standalone equal to true, then you have to import all this like mat form module, mat input module, forms module, ng if, or mat button module, mat icon module. You people can go with in app module generally. Now I'll be showing you like in app module directly. Which call that location? Nice. Right. So the first thing what I want to do is I'll be showing you a simple example on this particular component. One example on the CDK, that is lazy loading, that I'll show you, so that together will be finished in one shot. Because day before yesterday only someone from the management, they asked me, Srikanth, how many days you are going to take? Because like, just for the full stack development, especially like for .NET full stack, and this is like, the complementary course, right? Just like, what exactly the component directive and module, that is fine. But I don't know that like, how to end it. That is where it is keep on adding like, many more concept, and it is going, but okay, leave about it. That way. I'll just add like, the lazy loading with CDK, so that together it will be finished. Then you also understood like how the lazy loading is happen, right? Now you can see we have an import section over here. We have an import section over here, and the import section, I wanted to import like two things. That is going to be mat form field, that what I can say. Mat form field module is required. That is the first one, and it is available. Let's say I am writing an import statement here, and in the import statement, let us go with mat form field, and where it is available, it is available under the library. That is going to be @Angular / material is available / I'll be having, that is form field is available. Okay. So first you have to include it. How you can include it, like what you're going to implement, that you can decide, and based on that you can include. Now if I'll be going here, now you can see if you wanted to create an input field, this is fine, but all the input fields must be available inside the form tag, right? So to create the form again, we will be having it. That is the reason here you can understand something like we will be having the parameter reference and all. If you take any example, there you can find the code also. So which one is required for you, that you can identify in the TS section what it is. If you create a button module, and if you wanted to create a form, mat form field module is required. So just add that particular one. And after that, we wanted to have another module, that is going to be what module we wanted to have. I wanted to create a button. Then sorry, I wanted to create a text box, then this module is required or not. So that I'll be adding it in the import section, and then I'll copy this and then giving it over there. That's it. So these are the two steps that has to be performed. Now what I want to do, I'll be creating a component over here. Let's go to here. Maybe I can go with the existing component. That is my app component, HTML. And then here, what I want to do is, let's have a div which contains the class as going to be container hyphen fluid has to be given. And at the same time, I'll be creating bootstrap input to that what I can say, how to create it in bootstrap div. And I'm giving the class as going to be width 25. And then I'll be having a label and the class is going to be form label that what I can give. And the name is going to be, let's say, username has to be given. And after that, I'll take a div, and inside the div, input type as going to be, let's have the text. And at the same time, I'll be giving form control as the class, and the name, if you want to give anything, and a placeholder is going to be enter user name has to be given, and save it. And run that application, ng yes hyphen o hyphen project is equal to some wrong name I have given. I'll be giving the same name here to run it. I'll right click and rename it and then copy that and paste it over here. And this is going to be, M should be the capital one and A should be the capital, and then click on OK. So that by default, anyhow, app component only is the startup, so that you will be getting it over there. Right. Now you can see this is how the bootstrap input is going to be. But coming to that Angular input is going to be something like this, right? So how to create it? To create an Angular input, maybe you can copy paste it. Otherwise, like what I can do is, I'll go to here and I'm going to take another one. Let's go to the view word wrap. Alt Z. Okay. Let's go to here. And then what I want to do is, let me have something like H2 Angular material input to that what I can say I'll be having. So to create it, we are going to use mat hyphen. Okay, we are going to use mat hyphen. We have form field is available, and you can go with the form field. And there we are having appearance is available. I guess appearance is equal to, I'll be writing something like fill appearance. So what is the purpose of fill appearance is, like this, if you wanted to get it selected one, the background is going to be some kind of gray, right? So such kind of gray color only, hash or what color it is? This one. What color? Okay. Your skills, I mean, my skills are better than you then. I told you why I hate the CSS, right? Because of that reason. Same color, different names. Still, I'm confused on which color it is. I hope girls know a bit. What color it is? Ash only. Okay, good. Okay, so to get it, like, you know, we will be using appearance as going to be full. And at the same time, what I can do is, let's have the label, so that to create the label, mat hyphen label is available. And here I am using something like a username. And after that, we will be creating an input type as going to be text only. And if you wanted to write it, it's remaining things are same. There is no difference at all. Remaining everything is same. Like the way how we are using, let's say ng modal is equal to, I'll be writing a username, and after that hash sorry. I'll be writing an ng modal here, and after that hash username is equal to ng modal. If you wanted to include that ng modal, which module have to be imported? Which module is required here? Forms module is required, so that you can add the forms module. Then we don't have any kind of errors over here. Now ng modal, just like one thing you need to do here is going to be, let's give mat input as the name. And also, if you people wants to have any kind of placeholder, you can give it, and the placeholder is going to be, let me write, enter username has to be given. And then what I can do, I'll be displaying it. Let's have the h2, and then you can see we have what? User name dot value. If we can give, now we will be having it. Now you can see how it is going to be. This is the bootstrap, and this is that angular. Okay, this is that angular one, and this is the bootstrap one. Do you find, like, UI only the different, but like functionality is same. Suppose, let's say, if I'll be writing here, am I able to get, like, the same or not? Tell me, yes or no? If I'll be typing two-way data binding, is there any change over here with respect to the logic and everything? There is no change at all. The only difference is going to be what? Just you need to understand mat form field. That means what are all the predefined component tags are available, that you need to understand. Okay, and how many are there, Srikanth? I even didn't calculate. You can find, you see, these many are available. Autocomplete, badge, bottom sheet, understand. And at the same time, buttons are available. You can see we have, like, the button, a beautiful documentation they provided for us in order to use, and following with what API is required. That means in which API it is related to, and then following with couple of examples also they created for us, and you can use them in our application development whenever the requirement comes. Because remembering these many is not an easy task. If you still wanted to do a practice for 1 to 2 months, then you can remember at least few. But in practical, I'm telling you, even the Angular developer who are having 10 years of experience also doesn't matter. They simply copy paste from here, and they can do the customization. And how they are going to do the customization means, at that time, they read this documentation, what they have provided for us. Okay, anything you can take, because like you see form field, how many are there? You can just observe it. How much documentation is there? If you guys wants to create the card, now you see how to create a card. We have, like, the couple of things that are available, so that identification is not going to be a simple task for the developers, what tag and what it will do and how to include it. But, like, the concept is same. Whatever I'm doing, the first step one is going to be include the library. Step number 2 is going to be what component is required. We will be getting that module and define it in the app module.t. Step number 3 is going to be the design. For that design, we have an example. You can copy paste the code and you can do the customization based on your requirement. Clear na? Are you going to try another one, that is date picker? We have a date picker control is available. Just to try this one. If you can get, then it's okay. Otherwise, leave about it. This is the date picker control. So what API is required? What API is required? MAT stands for material. Date picker module is required. So you have to include this under the app module. And how to create the date picker? You can just go to here and then select the date that what you wanted to have. Now you see we have a mat label and we have what? Mat date range input is available, and the farm group name is going to be the range, and the range is going to be the picker, and what would be the start date and what would be the end date, and what mat hint is something like a kind of suggestion. We have a label and span tags, right? For that we use date and a date picker toggle, and we have, like, some blah blah blah. So that's it. This is how it is going to. Just you can go with that. Okay, another one, autocomplete. What we have it in that? Even I also don't know about everything. Just read it, that's it. Now you can go to that example. Autocomplete means 1, 2, 3. Okay. How they have implemented, just to open it. Okay, cool. Nothing is there. Like when I say about that autocomplete, first we do have the list of items that we wanted to have it. Now you can go to the TS file. In the TS file, you can see they provided the list of options here, right? List of options we are having, and the type is going to be a string array where it comes with 1, 2, 3, what they have provided. Now what we are having, what they have done, they are going to this particular one. One second, yes. Okay. Now what they have done, you see, first they created all the list of things over here, and in the HTML they iterated. Mat autocomplete is available, and they provided that option. What options they provided? Let option of filtered options are available. You can see we have the filtered options are available. This is the one. Okay, filtered options, they share it to the HTML and iterate it. Now, whatever that option we have, we will be displaying it to the user. That is how they might be used. And for that, they write some TypeScript logic here. This dot my control dot, whenever the value changes, then it get the value. That means it get the value what user has entered, and then based on that, it has to be displayed. And then it is going to display all the filtered values. And this is how it is going to be. I'll be showing it to you, HTML and all. Now you see the time when I'm giving you see 1, then automatically the value is getting changed or not? Yes or no? Whenever the value changes, then pipe is generally, it is used to execute multiple RxJS operators. Suppose let's say RxJS operators are going to be, as I told you, fork join, someone asked before a couple of days back, fork join, or else maybe from operator is available, or else to operator, like that we have couple of operators are available. What those operators will do is, which will perform an asynchronous operation. In that, start with is an operator with respect to the RxJS, and then map is also going to be an operator. What it is doing, you see, first of all, they created a control. What control it is? My control, which is of what type of control? Here it is, form control. Did you remember the reactive forms implementation or not? Controls are represented with form control, and forms are represented with form array, or else form builder also we can use. And I have showed you all that example. Don't ask me again that. Now, if you can go to here, I created my control with the same name. If you can observe that, let's say I have what my control. You can see form control is equal to my control. Now what it is? Input type equal to text that what we are having. For that text box, I am giving the name as going to be what? My control. Okay. What is the name I am giving? My control as the name. Now what I am doing here, from the my control, whenever the value is going to be changed, then I'm going to verifying with the help of 2 pipe. One is going to be the start with RxJS operator, and then map the value. Now what I'm doing, value goes to this dot filter method I'm calling. To that filter, whatever the value I'm getting, I'm going to get the value and convert it into the lowercase, and I'm going to filter that options. We have the different options are available here, right? Each and every time we will be getting one option or not. And that option I'm comparing, and based on that, it has to display. That is the reason when I type 1, I'm able to get the 1. When I type 2, I'm able to get the 2. When I type 3, I'm able to get the 3. Like that it is going to be. Okay. So everything is like that only. Just if you can take it and then keep it in your project, or else within the form, then you will be understanding. It's not a big deal. It's a very simple one. The only thing is going to be which attribute is used for which purpose. Even I also don't use it in my practical environment. I used material UI in my previous company, I guess 3 years back. 3 years back, I used the material UI, that too only one project. And it was started around 1 to 1.5 months. Again, we are back to the bootstrap. Because we have a lot of dependency for the Angular developer to build the UI. Okay, if all the developers are like me, then that application will never go to the production, because we don't have good understanding with respect to the CSS. As I told you, CSS will play a major role to build the UI. If the CSS is not good, who will use our application? Yes or no? Application performance is too good, but if the UI is not good, then who will use that application? That is the biggest problem that we are having. So that UI developer, they have to do the design properly, and it's our responsibility to give the more performance by integrating with that UI as an Angular team. But if you wanted to become a UI developer, my suggestion is better to learn the CSS properly. I don't want to become a UI developer. I'm a full stack even though, but if any requirement comes to the CSS, I'll assign to somebody else. I don't want to even pick it up. That is how it is. So these are what we call it as simple terms. I can say, 1 second. Anyhow, my cab is running late. So we'll continue with CDK also. Right. So this is the component that we are having, and I hope you understood. Now the second one is going to be what we are having. Second one is the CDK. If you can go to the class notes. First one is the component. Component is the combination of three things. That is the template, design, and logic. Everything is available. And the next one is going to be, we have the CDK, and CDK stands for component development kit. That what I can say. The main purpose of it is going to be, it improves the performance of the application. That what I can say. It improves the performance of that application. That what I can say. We are install the bootstrap and material. Which one is load fast? I got this question. I said the bootstrap with some explanation. Am I right? No. Always the third party integrations are going to be a bit less faster when compared with the own integrations, right? Just a simple thing. When compared with bootstrap, because bootstrap is not provide you all the feature. I'll show you now. CDK is not available in the bootstrap. Component development kit, it is not available in the bootstrap. It is available only with what? Material UI. If that is a case, which one will be load faster? This one only. Material UI is always faster when compared with the bootstrap, generally speaking. Okay, yeah. Now here you can see I'll be using like, the lazy loading. Generally, what is lazy loading is we have, we have two loadings. One is going to be eager and second one is going to be lazy. When I say about the eager loading is something like all data at once, I can say. All data, whatever the data it might be, all data will get loaded at one single shot. And coming to the lazy loading, it's all on demand loading. Okay, on demand loading. I'm telling you a simple example for that one. If you can go to the Flipkart application, I'll open my Flipkart application. As I told you, you can observe that we have like many products are available. If all products are loaded, then only the application will be loaded. Mean definitely for around like 1 minute of the time, the screen would be blank, right? Definitely. But if I moving or scroll up a bit up, then automatically it will load few more here. You can see that when I'm doing a scroll up over here, and you can see few more things are going to be added here based on the scrolling effect. Whenever you scroll up, then it will display the further product. Whenever you scroll down, those products are not going to be displayed at a time. That means they set a limitation that we will be displaying whatever user can see, not all the items that are required. Okay, not all the items that are going to be required. So how we are going to implement to do that one, we have what lazy loading concept. This lazy loading you can implement in Angular application also, that is possible, or else you can implement the same thing in Angular Material UI. And to do that one, let me have a simple component over here. I'll be go to the app component. I'll open that integrated terminal. CMD, NG, G for the generate, C for the component. And I just wanted to write something like lazy loading is the component hyphen skip hyphen test that what I can give, so that automatically that would be added it over there. Lazy loading is going to be added it over here. And now what I just want to do is, let us come to the component and I'll take the TS file here, and then I'll be taking this one, copy it, and at the same time app module dot index.html. Am I explained the lazy loading earlier? Okay, it's okay. Now you can see the next thing is going to be, we have like lazy loading component is available. Let me give that particular one over here. Still my application is under that execution where I can open the 4200. Let's have localhost 4200, and this is getting worked. Now to implement the lazy loading, we use a module that is going to be the scrolling module. I'll go to my Angular Material UI because I didn't remember like what we are using. At least a couple of things I remember, that is where I need to even see that material.event.angular.io, go to the CDK. In that scrolling, I used it in my project, so that is where I am explaining it. Scrolling is the overview and which will be used virtual scrolling. CDK virtual scroll viewport. Okay, and we are using CDK virtual for instead of using the NG for. Okay, this is how it is going to be. Okay. And that API is going to be what module? Scrolling module. And we have that example. Okay. So the first thing is going to be, we need to have the scrolling module required there, right? So that I'll copy that and then come back here. And in the app module, what we wanted to have? What module is required here? Scrolling module is required, so that I can add the scrolling module here. I'm going to add the scrolling module here. And in the component.ts, the very first thing what I want to do is, I'm going to fetch like, the products like multiple products I'll be getting, so that public products which are of type, let's say product details type, that what I can go, I'm going to use it. And at the same time, I'll be using ng on init, that what I can say. And here I'm going to use the fetch method, and inside the fetch method, let me have the URL. The URL is going to be, let's have the fake store API, and come back here. And then I'm going to get all the products over here. Let us have all the products, copy that, and then paste it here. And this is the one. And then data goes to data dot JSON I can give, and then following with, sorry, one more time. Then I can use data goes to data, data goes to this dot products is equal to the data that what we wanted to have. I'll be writing something like this. I hope you people know about it. Now I'll go to my HTML. First, I will show you like how it would be in the Bootstrap, so that let us have a div which contains the class that is going to be container fluid, I can say. And I'm just using Bootstrap. Using Bootstrap, that what I can say, and I'm taking a div, and the class is going to be, let's have overflow, that what I can give, overflow auto, that what I am giving. And this is how it is going to be. I'll be providing some styles also here. Styles also, that what I am giving. And the style is going to be, let's say, height as going to be some around 300 pixel. And after that, I'll be writing some border also, maybe 1 pixel, solid and black border. And I'll be adding some padding over here. It's 5 pixel is enough. And at the same time, let's give the width as going to be 250 pixel, that what I can give. That's it. Okay, width as going to be 250 pixel, and this is how it is going to be. And how to display this data generally, I'll take a div. I'll take a div, and here generally how to display ng for is equal to, okay, let item of what it is. It is the products is the one that we are having. Let's have the products. Let item of products has to be given, and I'm going to display all those images so that I'll be using img. Let's have the width, how much it is, 150 around. And at the same time, I'll be having the height is equal to 150 pixel, that what I can give. And then I have an src here, and within that I'll be using item dot, we have the image. Save it and then come back here. We have all the list of items here, right? Okay, all the list of items here or not? When I refresh it once again, this is how it is. I'll right click, go to that inspect, and here if you can go to the network tab, okay, or else maybe you can see that in the elements tab we have a div, and we do have a div. Total how many items are available here? You can read it, I mean count it. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 items are available. In my API, I have 20 items. All that items are comes in like, the first load itself, and all those are going to be loaded over here. You can see that I have 20 items, so that it will be very much faster. If I'm having 200 items, it might take some time to load it, right? Yes or no? Right. But how many items I'm able to see here? Hardly 3 items, maximum of 3, and maybe 5 items. If you can reduce the size of an image, I can see like 5 items. Then why should I load all that items without having any requirement? Right? Let's say I have like 2 to 3 links are available, and user cannot interact with all the links at a time. User will be in the home page. I have offers page, and then I have another page. I have, let's say, mobile, different pages are there. Why should I maintain like that? I mean, why should I get that data without required on demand requirement? If you can have, then lazy loading is one of the great feature. Now the same thing you can do with the help of this one. See how it is going to be. Okay, I'll come back to below. Okay, I'll be using, let's say, lazy loading using material UI CDK component development kit I'll be using. And to do this one, I'll be using CDK virtual viewport. And then you can give the item size as going to be, maybe I can give 5. Sorry, item size, how many you wanted to have? I can give 100, and the class is going to be, let's say, overflow. I'll be using auto. And at the same time, if you people wants to have any styles, you can, I'll be adding all these styles one more time. Same styles I wanted to have, I'll be adding that particular one, and CDK virtual scroll is available. After that, I'll take a div, and for this one, earlier what I used, ng for, right? Now here, I just wanted to use another one, that is going to be CDK virtual for is available. Same syntax has to be, let item of what it is, products is available. Now I just wanted to write, like, the same thing over here. Maybe let's write like this. That's it. Image src is equal to, why we have an error? I'm sorry. Okay, I'll be saving this one and save it, and then come back here. Now you can see both the places we have the same images. You can observe that here also we have that image, and here also we have the same. If you can take, like, the first one with the help of the bootstrap. Let's go with the help of the bootstrap. You can see when I try to open the div, am I able to see all 21 here or not? Yes or no? But if you can go to, like, the CDK virtual for, and then we have the div, how many items are loaded right now? How many items are available? Only 5. 5 or 6. Okay, 5, whatever. 5 only. But the time when I'm doing the scrolling, you can see items are modified or not. You can observe there. Okay. User point of view, there is no difference. If I close this one, what is the difference you found here? Found there and here. User point of view, there is no difference. But development point of view, lazy loading will give you, like, the faster on demand. That means initial loading time would be reduced. On demand loading is going to be happen. Here what happened? If you can right click and inspect, here you can see we have all the items are loaded. But if you can come back here in the CDK virtual scroll bar, and we have the div, right now how many items? 7 items are loaded. If I scroll it, now you can see only whatever that items user is able to see, those items only would be loaded, above 2 and below 2. You can see that it is not loaded with, like, all that item that are available. That is the importance of what? Lazy loading concept. Now tell me, which one is faster, bootstrap or Angular material? Material only faster, but you may get a question, Srikanth, why we are not using it? If you wanted to use the material, the only one problem is Angular developer only has to do the UI development. Like that, we have very less number of people who are working in the projects. Most of the people, the development is segregated. Angular developers separately, UI developers separately, UX people separate, and .NET developer, Java developer, service developer, and deployment is also not done by yourself. That is where DevOps engineers, we call them as. And also project requirements is not given to by your manager. It was given by the business team. If a real-time project means we should have these many people, not a single person who take care of each and everything. That won't be happen at all. Okay, so this is how We will be using what? Angular material. Any question, anything, if you wanted to try to do a practice, you can try. That's up to you. I got my cap. Hello. Uh, uh, 5 minutes ago, just now. Okay. So that's it for the day. I'm not sure, I'm not going to be uploaded by today. By end of the day, I'll upload. Once I'll be back from my office, I'll upload it. Thank you and have a nice day.
Recording stopped.